3, 2, 1.
Good morning.
Morning. I just realized I blend in. I need to go change my shirt.
No, you're fine.
Well, I look like a floating head next to fire.
All right, go change your shirt. I don't know how to. I've been trying to turn the sound off. By the way, we're already in hype train level 4, so you better hurry up. Things are going crazy. We're trying some new stuff today. I don't know if it's working properly, so it's going to be an interesting day. I don't know why the sound keeps coming on every time someone does something, but I guess I'll take it for now. And the hype cup is frozen already. Everything's frozen. What's going on here? Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony show. Sorry we got off to a interesting start this morning. Carla Marie will be back in a second, and I am going to talk about the cabin-looking motif we have today. It's not necessarily a manic Monday because at least we're on today, which is good.
We're good.
You good, Carla Marie?
Oh,
Much better. Oh, you matched. Yeah,
fire.
you matched.
Okay.
Britt Grant 88. Thank you very much for those 5 gifted subs. I think we just got ourselves into hype train level 5. So you still have a little bit of time, and if you remember from the last show that we had, Carla Marie owes us 2 shots today.
I do.
Is that because you didn't eat reindeer?
Because I didn't eat reindeer meat, which should make me a better person.
Radio fam, thank you very much for the 100 bits. I need to see why this this overlay isn't working.
Extra pale these January.
Here, let's see. Let's try this out. Refresh. We're going to get into a lot of stuff today. Oh, that's the wrong one.
I do have a list or screenshots. Or texting myself.
Let's see. Refresh
This
that. There
start to the week is still way better than last week.
Of course,
For
yeah. I mean,
us,
well,
personally.
for now.
Well, we weren't stranded in random cities and,
There we go. Okay, so that's working. Now I've got to go into the system and figure out why the noises are still happening. It's real weird. So you explain. Oh, here we go. Volume control.
Like when Instagram changes things, right? I'm sure there's like a beta launch and all these things are going wrong, but like we never say it, but we just test things publicly.
Maybe. Let's see. Now, someone do something. I don't know. Follow, cheer, gift. I think I may have fixed it.
Happy New Year to you guys too. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to start. Yeah. Oh, whoa. D. Lim. How many did you just gift 20?
That's
20
absurd.
tier 1 subs. Thank you very much.
And I think we just completed hype chain level 5.
Yeah, that definitely completed the hype train. So now Carla Marie, you know what? We'll let the sounds keep going as Carla Marie pours out the shots. What are we drinking today?
It is Elk Rider vodka and
it's from
lemon
Heritage,
juice.
right?
Yeah. Some lemon.
I think this is leftover from the Advent calendar from them. Where's your second shot?
Oh.
That's why I had.
I was just going to go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because by the time
We're at 427% of the hype train, which might be the most we've ever gotten.
No.
Maybe we've probably done 1,000% at some point, but that's a lot. You don't have enough for a second shot. I guess you're going to have to
No, I
drink
do.
both.
I'm just not pouring it all the way. It's
Sure?
there, I promise.
Okay. What do we have?
I
So
did
just
2 little
the
bottles.
vodka?
And some lemon.
And some lemon. All right. Well, cheers. Thank you to everyone, especially today, David Lim, for the 20 gifted subs. That's a lot for one person, so we appreciate it. Cheers, Carla Marie. Cheers to you.
Oh, Erica.
And cheers to the bartender.
Erica the human's here.
Woo. It actually was pretty good chilled with lemon. And one day, Carla Marie will learn how to take a shot. Please don't spit that at me. There we go.
That was more than a shot.
You got one more.
You need to make the sound stop.
Okay, I will. I'll do that. You'll notice my shirt. It was a great sports weekend for me where I actually had a tough time this morning figuring out which shirt I was going to wear because Seton Hall beat UConn in one of the best games, and this is an unbiased opinion on the internet, a lot of them, one of the best college basketball games, if not the best college basketball game of the season. Mm-hmm. They beat UConn on Saturday, and then yesterday, in what people are calling the best NFL game of the regular season. The Raiders beat the stupid Chargers and are going to the playoffs.
And I decided yesterday I'm going to be a Raiders fan. I think it would be cute. You know why? Because
Why?
we don't have a team that we root for together. Well, the Yankees. I take that back. That's completely false, my statement. But
Yeah.
it'd be cute.
All right, let me go back into this.
And I like their colors because they're
No
not like
chat.
obnoxious. They're just muted. So I'm going to be a Raiders fan as of today.
All right, well,
I don't have any
welcome to the
Raiders.
club.
I don't have any Raiders. You should have bought me something when you went to the game.
I'm so confused as to why there's still sound.
Because I grew up a Giant. Not that anyone said why.
Yeah, why? Why are you
Okay.
now going
That's
to change, Carla Marie?
I grew up a Giants fan, and like I hate football, so I don't really like care.
Okay.
And then like I moved out here, and I'll be honest, like I got on the Seahawks train because like again didn't really care about football. I was like, all right, I'll cheer for the city where I'm on the radio. And then like I started realizing like I just don't generally like NFL fans, and the hardcore Seahawks fans that I met. No offense if you are one. This is just what has happened in my life. The ones that I met, I tended to not like as humans. Also,
Why?
One
All of them?
One of them was a boss.
Oh, well, he stunk.
So, like, it just left a poor taste in my mouth. So now I'm like, let me be a Raiders fan until Anthony dumps me, and then I'll pick a new team.
Okay. All right, that works.
And you have season tickets. So I like to go to games.
I do. And I told you this year, if you wanted to go to a game, we could have
Let's
gone
go
down
now.
to, well, no, now the Raiders most likely, I don't think there's actually a chance they get a home game for the playoffs.
I actually just donated my New York Giants hat because it had, like, sequins on it. I'm like, when am I going to wear this? What is happening?
I'm wondering if all these sounds are coming through because I didn't mute the sounds early enough, and now it's like making good on all those sounds before. Yeah, because see, no one's doing anything right now.
I said until Anthony dumps me, because if I dumped him, I would still be a Raiders fan, probably.
No. Because you still wouldn't have the season tickets. Yeah, this is all a backlog of sounds at the moment,
I'm
I
also
believe.
a Warriors fan, right? That's who they are?
Yeah.
I
So
love
you
these
like
California teams.
you do. Well, the Raiders are not in California anymore. They used
Oh,
to be
duh.
up until 2 years ago. Why are we breaking up? I'm not sure. That was from Erica. Also, I did notice that we are at 9,097 followers. So if you are currently watching us right now
9,097.
and you are not following, hit that follow button so we can get to a nice round number like 9,100. That would be nice. I also hate the sounds. I apologize. They will be fixed by tomorrow. Please don't leave us because of the sounds. Carla Marie, you've got another shot to take.
I'm drunk.
No, you're not.
I knew I should have worked out this morning.
Well,
We're bad for each other, and I'm
Okay.
going to explain why in a second.
that's barely a shot.
Damn
What
it,
are you
why
trying to
you
do
look,
there?
you dick? What do you mean barely? These are like 6 ounces. These cups. They look small on camera.
Yeah. All right, show everyone what you got.
What do you mean show 'em what I got?
Because there's not a lot in
Wait,
there.
that confused me because you're showing it delayed and I moved it.
Oh,
I
here,
didn't
okay.
do it.
There's our live camera.
Look at how chilled it is. You see the little frost on the cup? Look at me, fireplace, drinking my little frost. I'm not going to speak.
Okay, that's fine. You don't do a great job of it sober, so.
I have COVID words.
Ooh, Elaine said the shot glasses are pretty big. She used hers last night. Ew, you just spilled all over me. That was, there's still a little bit in there, but I guess we'll take what we can get. Well done, Carla Marie. 2 shots for you. 1.5. What are you doing? You good?
So on Thursday, Anthony is doing his hot sauce making class with Seattle
Yes.
Cocktail Club. And the wonderful people at Seattle Cocktail Club said that while Anthony's on camera doing the class, I'm going to be behind the scenes learning how to take shots.
How many shots do you think it'll take you to learn how to take a shot, though?
Clearly, I have had a lifetime of shots.
So we'll have more information if you are one of the people that purchased one of those hot sauce making class packages. We'll have more information as to how you're going to watch all that stuff, how you're going to interact coming up in the next day or so, because that's on Thursday. And then I like to do this because we haven't done it yet this year. In the chat, if you could just tell us where you are watching from.
Yeah,
Give
Nelly
us the
Belly. That's new to me.
city and state, please. Would be phenomenal.
So
You said so. I'm going
I have
to
a
let you
list
go.
of things to talk about,
Go
but
for it.
I'm saying I think there was some stuck in my braces and it went down my throat.
I don't know if
The
that's
reason why we're not good for each other is on the nights/mornings when Anthony and I do sleep in the same bed.
Mhm.
Like today, our goal was to wake up and go to the gym, like the actual LA Fitness in Ballard for 5 a.m. And the alarm went off, and I was actually really awake. And I was like, hey, it's 4:45, whatever. He's like, okay. I'm like, if you don't want to go, we don't have to go. And he's like, okay. I go, okay. And then we just played a game of who was going to snooze next
Yeah.
for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Also, cancel that.
And then, like, you get a cat that's, like, on your legs, and you're like, can't wake up. There's a cat on me. It's just bad, bad news.
Yeah. Also, I stayed up a little later than I wanted to yesterday, trying very hard to figure out how to clean up all of this stuff that we're putting on the screen today. And for some reason, it's still not working the way I want it to. But I was up until about 11:30ish, and to do what we wanted to do today,
Oh,
we would have had to be
Can I have your water?
up at 4:15, 4:30ish.
Well, my alarm was 4:30 or 4.
Yeah, that works. I saw Plantation, Florida in the chat. That's where. What?
I need to go get a breakfast snack, I think.
You want me to go get you? There's a protein bar that GNC sent me. You want me to go get that?
What is it made out of?
Protein?
And is there nuts in it?
I don't know. I'll go get it.
If not, give me a piece of chocolate.
Oh, and real quick,
I'm going to do a breakfast chocolate.
Actually, no, I do want to bring up the chocolates that were sent to us because we should talk about that. And before I go downstairs, I do want to talk about the fire and the lights that are behind us. Now, a lot of people, because I posted about it, I think, on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in my little cozy cabin here doing some work, a lot of people were asking about the lights that we have along the wall and the lights behind the TV. And right now, if you type in !LED, or just LED without the exclamation point, you should get a link to the company that we use. And I believe, because this isn't like a paid partnership thing, it's just a code they give you once you buy something. I believe you get 10% off and we get 5% of that purchase.
I don't know how, and anyone can sign up for this. This isn't like a
exactly
influencer thing.
Exactly. This isn't influencer Anthony. So the link is right there. And it should work. If it doesn't, let me know.
We're due for an influencer Anthony post. Like, you should do one on these lights or something.
Maybe. And I think if you just type in LED, it should
there.
work too. No, just without the exclamation point. But
is it hot in here? Or is it because I see fire?
It's probably
if I'm ever stuck on a highway,
it's that
I'm
super
going to look
hot
at fire on my phone.
The other thing that we installed behind us is on that TV, because it's an older model, so it doesn't have all the apps.
Oh, they're on.
Huh?
Oh, the light's behind it.
Yeah.
Got it.
We got the Chromecast on there.
We did get a Chromecast. We went to Target yesterday to get it, and we got the most random things. I got some new workout socks. Anthony got baby oil. Why?
Because I use baby oil to moisturize.
Okay. And
great.
I got baby foot, which is this thing that you put your feet in and then your foot skin peels off. Stay tuned. I'll share videos when it happens. Then that was it. We went there also to get a red pepper so I can make dinner, but there's no produce anywhere because all of the roads in Washington are closed and they can't get to Seattle with their food. So we don't have food in Seattle. We'll save that for later. And Anthony was about to pay with Google Pay and something happened on his phone. And the guy ringing us up was like, oh, what happened? Anthony's like, I don't know. My phone's super old. And the guy's like, what phone do you have?
The Pixel 3.
And the guy was like, pfft.
Yeah. I got publicly shamed for my phone. I will be getting the Pixel 6 very soon. I don't think I'm going to go for the Pixel 6 Pro. It's just too big.
Like bigger than this?
It's about this size, and I don't like it.
You get used to it. Everyone holds my phone like, oh my God, it's so big. And I'm like, I know, but if I go smaller,
I know the
you
feeling.
can't ever go I also know the feeling.
That's
I don't. Okay, so baby foot, if you don't know what it is, they have one for men, but it's really the same thing. And it comes in like a box and it's a plastic bag full of liquid, essentially, right? And you put your feet in this bag and you just sit there. And it feels like gross because your feet are like getting like soggy and oily and I hate that feeling. But they soak, right? And then you take it off and you wash your feet and everything feels fine. 3 days later, your feet start peeling. And when I say peeling, imagine this is your foot. You peel a piece of skin and it goes your entire foot. And I took video the last time I did this. And I was like, man, I got to post this on TikTok. But I never did. And then when I was ringing it up yesterday, the guy at Target, who was like a super manly dude, he's like, I've seen this before. I think I've seen it on TikTok. I was like, damn it, somebody beat me. But I am going to do it this time. Anthony has actually baby foot for men. So we are going to film ourselves using it. And we're going to do a TikTok or a reel. We're doing a baby foot reel or TikTok. So.
No, I'm not.
Wait, you didn't bring the protein you just bought.
Oh, yeah, I just brought the cookies.
So.
Chocolate. I'm also not doing, my feet will not be on TikTok. If my feet are going on social, someone's paying me for it.
It's fair. It is true, Jenny. It's better than any pedicure you'll ever get. My feet have been like super itchy lately. I don't know if you felt me. Like I was like scratching my feet together because they were itching because the skin is super hard.
No.
Okay. I feel like I'm very drunk, so I'm gonna have.
You're talking a lot. There's no way you're drunk already. You took gummies this morning, didn't you?
I always do every day.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the gummy.
You want to hear what a rubber band?
No, don't do it.
No,
don't.
it takes people back to middle school, where everyone wants to go.
I hate this noise. It's gross.
That was excessive.
Yeah,
that
it's
reaction.
gross. That's what I do every time you do it. Let's go. On with it.
You talk. I talked a lot. Shout out to Ricky. Why is there less?
It's probably from your tooth. All right, get it out. Stop it. Stop
It was
being
on
gross. Stop it.
All right, we
So,
have a list of real things to get to.
We do, and I do want to shout out our friends at MK. Well, mainly just Matt, because he's the only person we know there. They do our merch, and they sent us a little chocolate gift thing to thank us for our business this year. So that's really to thank you guys for your business, and we get chocolate out of it. All right. Where's the cover? There we go.
Shout out to Ricky.
For what?
She has chocolate for breakfast, so I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, we were on a text, and she sent a picture or something.
No,
what did she
said,
do?
I was eating my breakfast chocolate. And
That's
I was
what
like,
it was, yeah.
I said, why did that happen?
We'll figure it out later.
I said, WTF is breakfast chocolate.
Yeah.
She's like, just chocolate that I have for breakfast. I was like, all right.
Which I guess if there is a time to eat something like chocolate, it's probably better to do it early in the morning than late at night, right? Because you're gonna like burn it off.
That's true, and I'm sure it has energy.
There are people who will flip their meals. They'll have like their dinner type meal in the morning.
We do that for like 2 weeks and see what happens.
We can. Because
I mean, we basically did it at Elvis's show, but we also had.
That was different. Elvis's show, there was just people catering things
So
all
like,
the time.
I'll make us chicken parm. We'll have for breakfast.
And it makes sense when you think about it, because if you're going to eat a heavier meal, you may as well do it earlier in the morning or earlier in the day,
right,
so that you have time to burn all of that off. And if you're going to have a lighter meal, you do that at night, and you have less to burn off or less to worry about while you're sleeping.
Yeah. I think
it does make a lot of sense when you think about it.
Yeah, it's cereal companies that are hoax trying to get you to have cereal in the morning. Serial killers, go message them and tell them that. Hold on. I am going to message a link to Babyfoot in the chat, and it is a referral link. So if you buy this from Amazon, I make money.
What is it? Oh, Babyfoot? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So you said that I have baby foot for men, or baby feet for men, whatever that. It's just a regular. It doesn't say for men on there.
No, it does. Because the only reason I knew For Men existed is because you had it, and I got it for my dad for Father's Day, and he refuses to use it.
Well, this is one of my problems in the, I don't know, self-care, cosmetic, whatever, health and beauty segment of the economy. I don't understand why we have to have, like, for men.
I'll tell you
things.
why. Well, I will say probably more than 50% of it is just marketing, right?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this is a black bottle.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, the steamers we even have right now, yours is black, mine is rose
They're the
gold.
same exact thing,
Same
though.
thing. But some of it is, we truly are physically different.
Yes.
And there are certain lotions and moisturizers you should be using, not mine.
I agree. There are probably a couple things that do need to be designated for your gender. But I really think a lot of it is just, oh, guys don't want something that has light blue or pink on it.
And you've got Jill and Sonali saying the same thing, like the pink tax. So true. So pink tax is things that women use are more expensive.
Oh, okay, got it.
Because we'll buy it.
Yeah. Well, I guess
that is the short version of it.
Men are probably more willing to get like a budget brand soap or a budget brand.
What happened? Why don't you go get
What?
what you bought?
What, the baby oil?
No,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Be right back again.
it's funny.
Products targeted for men are generally not even formulated as well as women's products.
All right, so then you're just gonna start using the moisturizers I get.
I don't care about I just get regular moisturizer. It's not like a man's moisturizer.
No,
it's what is that company? Cetaphil?
You have Cetaphil,
Yeah.
but they're good. They're really good. Cetaphil is good. CeraVe is what you have, and that's actually dermatologist recommended, and it's drugstore brand. I use boy racers. It is so hot in here. This fire is roast. Okay, have any of you ever used, they're called hero patches. You can grab mine too. And they're these clear patches that you put on their face. Alabama and I talked about these on the air way back when. And if you're getting a pimple, you put it on and then you peel it off, like say 8 hours later, and it essentially like sucks the grossness out of the pimple. They are amazing, especially because you can like wear them all day and people don't really notice them.
I wore it to the gym yesterday.
Yeah, Anthony, especially because he'll pop them sometimes and doesn't want the grossness.
Actually, if you look at my reel that I posted on
You can
Instagram
see
yesterday, I had it on there and I completely forgot. It's like right above my eyebrow.
This isn't
If you
even a
watch that.
hero one. Mighty Patch, Target, Amazon. I can also drop a link in here for this. Come in a few different sizes. Even my estheticians have recommended these. But Anthony thought he was buying the same thing.
Yeah, I went to CVS in Ridgewood, New Jersey, or actually it was Midland Park, right next to my parents' house.
So these are clear. They come in different shapes. You can see they're clear. They're kind of like hydrocolloid patches, very similar.
And I thought, I
That's
thought I
what
was
they
being
are.
like slick. I thought I was doing something good. I was going to pop one of these on yesterday, but they're like weird camo print. They're like winter, I don't even know. Not even winter camo.
It was great.
No, it's like blue tie-dye.
I should
That's what it
have
is.
let you put it on and be like, no, it's clear. Go to the gym. Bye.
No, you don't think I would have noticed this
No.
on my head?
I don't.
Yes, I would have. Can we get this dirty ass lettuce off the table?
That's definitely lettuce from Dick's.
From yesterday in your mouth still?
No, it was on the bottom of the chocolate, I think.
Maybe.
Not in my mouth.
I think it was in your mouth.
Actually, more possible that it was in my mouth than the bottom of the chocolate. So these patches are super cheap and amazing, and I'm going to drop them in here. Right
And just to prove that I don't have like a bro moisturizer, this is what I use. Cetaphil. How do you
Cetaphil.
is it Cetaphil?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But it's
That looks like Cetaphil to me.
Cetaphil.
Well, okay. The next video I want to do for social is cutting these open, because right now this is like
There's
kind
so
of
much
empty.
in there.
There's so much in here
I
still.
know.
It's like half the bottle is still in here, and it says, and I can't like squirt it out.
Scotty B is great at that.
So I'm gonna slice it in half, and I'm gonna scoop it and put it in a little Tupperware, and I'll be able to like dip my finger and go
Okay.
like that.
Can't wait. Cetaphil and Cetaphil are both right? How is
Oh.
that possible?
Tomato, tomato.
It is not okay to call me Carla and Carla Marie.
Who said that?
I'm just saying.
Oh,
Okay. So things we need to get to. Let's do the sad thing first.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people posting about Bob Saget passing away.
And it sucked. I'm going to read part of his last Instagram post, which literally was probably like 12 hours before he died.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize this until I got like my news update from Google this morning. Bob Saget was the voice of Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Mother. I don't think
Oh,
I
yeah.
ever made that connection. I think I always just thought it was him, the actor. Because I never really like watched How I Met Your
same.
Mother. But he's the voice of like the narrator
Yeah.
of the show. But he also obviously America's Home Videos, like
And
Funny
Full
Home
House.
Video. Well, Full House, of course.
Yeah.
But like growing up, like we associated him with like family and home always.
Yeah.
So that's why this is like, oh my God, like it's America's dad.
Which is weird because outside of those two brands, like he was a really raunchy comedian. Like he wasn't a
Yes.
family-friendly
No.
comedian. He just happened into two of the biggest like family brands you could have
Well-
had in America's Funniest Home Videos and Full House.
But he also, and he's talked about this in interviews, he never expected to be famous. I think his dad had worked for the Bob Newhart show, and he had just gone to and been on the set and like just started like doing things. He eventually became like a crowd like hype person behind the scenes. And he was like, okay, I'll do this. He was never expected to be famous.
That's what our friend Tom Kelly does.
Yep.
Or did for a long time for, was it not Good Morning America?
That's not good.
What?
A door just slammed.
Oh, I didn't hear that. He's done it on a couple different shows. What's Michael Strahan on?
No, it wasn't that. Because I went with my mom to... Where did my mom go? And Tom Kelly was there. Not The View.
Either way, when you go to those types of shows, there's usually a comedian who comes out before the show actually starts and kind of warms up the crowd to make sure they're ready to laugh. Let's see. Oh, The View. Yeah, he was there. Oh, Dana on Long Island knows Tom.
Oh, wow. All four
Who's
of them were
also on Long Island.
All four cats were just locked in the bedroom.
They're
Blame
fine.
John. He was behind the door.
They're fine. So what were you going to say is sad?
Bob Saget died.
No, but you said you wanted to read something. You were like,
Oh.
blah, blah, blah.
So he posted. So yesterday was Sunday. He passed. He was found Sunday morning in his hotel. No foul play, no drug use. But the night before, so like probably in the wee hours of actually Sunday morning, because the show ended super late on Saturday, he posted a selfie and wrote, "Okay, I love tonight's show in Jacksonville. Really nice audience, lots of positivity. Happened last night in Orlando, last night at the Hard Rock Live too. Very appreciative and fun audiences. Thanks to another comedian for opening. I had no idea I did a 2-hour set tonight. I'm back in comedy like I was when I was 26. I guess I'm finding my new voice and loving every moment of it. I see you in 2 weeks, January 28th and 29th, with my brother, the real Mike Young, and check bobsaget.com for dates in 2022. Going everywhere until I get the special shot, and then probably keep going because I'm addicted to this shit. Peace out."
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah.
I actually don't think that's sad.
No. It's like very like, I don't, and sad's not the word. It's like he literally ended his last post with like peace out. Like it's crazy.
But this is going to sound more messed up than I mean it to. I think that's the best way to go out.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was in a good mood. He was excited. He was in a good place. It seems like in a good place mentally. Obviously, social media is,
right.
It's only the good parts usually. That's kind of how I would want to go out.
Well, like if you sadly passed away right now, your last post would be how you look like Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Not
Mine
too bad.
would be me hanging off a building, so that's cool, I guess.
Yeah. People just think you fell. But that's how I'd want to go out. I don't want to go out being like, I'm so excited. I'm happy. I feel appreciated. I feel fulfilled. And then, bam, lights out. Like there's something kind of nice about that.
My mom was telling me that Bob Saget had some disease was a tightening of the skin. It's like something I don't know if that's what it caused it, because let's not trust Mama Marie and her. There we go. And I think that's the same foundation that Drown You Out is sharing. Scleroderma. That makes sense. He was on the board of the Scleroderma Research Foundation.
Yeah, our friend Mac was posting about that yesterday. Mac from Miami. Used to be on Y100. Now he's on the 90s station. 93.9 maybe?
What is scleroderma? But yeah.
Oh, that was his sister who had that, and that's why he was on the board. There you
Okay.
go.
Well, you know what? This is the crazy thing about old people. And I'm no
Well, you
offense.
also kind of just did it.
Well, that's why I said I can't trust
Yeah.
my mom. But like, she will be like, the news said. I'm like, what news? What
Facebook.
channel? And then I'll go look into it. I'm like, no, you completely missed. Like, I think we should do a segment where my mom comes on and tells us the news, and then I read the truth.
Well, I don't know. It'll take a long time.
It is. I'm like, what channel? And then I have to go find an article, and then she's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, but you know what, though? I think that's less a problem of old people, quote unquote. And for the record, if Mama Marie is watching this, Carla Marie started saying that, not me.
I'm telling her
Old
right
people
now.
thing. I think it's actually the fact that we don't fully pay attention to things anymore.
Yeah.
When we watch TV
Well, because
shows,
she's
we're on
on
the phone.
her iPad the whole
Yeah.
time.
Usually you're on your phone, your iPad. You have a screen while you're watching another screen, and you're having a conversation
Yeah.
with someone maybe in your home. None of us actually
No.
pay attention to things anymore. Even yesterday during the Raiders game, there was a couple times, and it was a great game. From the moment I started watching, it was already 10-0 because I was out of the house for a little bit. It was just an action-packed game the whole time. I was still, every now and then, grabbing my phone, scrolling on Instagram, reading an article, talking to friends, and not paying full attention to what was probably the best NFL game of the regular season. So
it's not good.
It's a problem we all have.
There's a meme that keeps going around. It's like the fact that I give myself so much credit when I take my phone and put it down and watch a TV show is a problem.
Yeah. And yeah, some people do just read the headlines instead of the entire article. So that's
Which
because
is always clickbait.
That's because we just see things in a feed, right? You see 18 articles and you kind of scroll, oh, I know that, and you keep scrolling.
Martha said, like, right now I'm listening to you and listening to my son's teacher on Zoom. What is she telling? What is she teaching? Let us know.
Yeah,
Who is more insightful right now?
We should just, what is it? Like, patch her in
That'd
and
be
just
so
all
cool.
learn a little bit.
But back to the post, and that's
Bob
how
Saget?
you would want to go out.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely agree with you on that. Like,
'Cause-
it makes you think, like, all right, what if this is the last? Like, it's always like, what if this is the outfit I die in? What if this is the last post I share?
Even like Betty White.
Was like, I can't wait to be 100.
She was like getting ready. She was energetic. She seemed full of life. She had people giving her attention, which growing up in or living most of her life in the public eye, I'm sure attention
Yeah.
was a big thing. When it was gone, she probably felt a little empty.
She's had attention. It's never gone away.
It wanes. It's a roller coaster.
What if my last post is a vibrator? I would actually love to go out like that. Everyone goes to my page and like, you know what? Good vibes only. I'm going to go buy a vibrator.
I don't think that's what would happen. I don't.
Martha said that her son's teacher right now on Zoom is doing a spelling test.
Ooh.
I would love for Martha to call us and tell us the words because she can't type them.
Yeah.
Unless she spells them wrong.
Or she used an emoji.
Oh, emojis would be cool.
But we're not going to do that, though.
Okay.
Not today, at least. Let's see.
That went far back.
What? What did you say?
You went really far back.
Oh, and I wanted to show everyone this. We've been playing around with a couple things, and one of the things we can do during the show now is switch a little bit, have a different background, and then if you start typing things in the chat, like everyone just type your name, it'll all come up in this this little white box. There we go.
So everyone watching on YouTube will now see.
Mm-hmm. So we're working on a couple things.
Say hi to YouTube, everybody.
This is kind of the soft launch, if you will.
It does that when we switch that?
Oh, I don't know. But this is kind of like the soft launch, and then we will be changing things a little bit over the next week or so until we finally have things fine-tuned, if you will.
We have a pretty awesome team of people working on this.
Why did I take that off? There we go. Let's put that back on. That way everyone can say hello to our YouTube friends.
Yes.
Hello, YouTube friends. Speaking of YouTube, by the way, last week was a little rough in terms of uploading our show to YouTube, mainly because we had a bunch of tech issues here. We were trying to do new things at the same time. So hopefully we are back on track today. When you're a two-man show or a two-person show, sometimes you get a logjam of work that has to be done.
I just don't know when you're supposed to like work and do regular life things at the same time.
I'm not good at that at all. Mainly because I actually enjoy doing work at night.
Well, and also I'm like, I have the ability to work later in the day and go do things that other people can't do in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I do that? And then I get home and I'm like, I don't want to work.
I'm the same way, and that's kind of why I go to the gym when I do, because the last thing I want to do, especially in January, is go to the gym during like regular hours, because it's just it's a zoo, especially in January up until I would say early March when people start kind of fading off of their New Year's resolutions.
I don't like working when it's dark, and that's a problem here.
Well, it's dark all the time here. But I will say, setting up this room,
Oh, it's light right now.
putting the lights in here, putting the lights behind the TV, putting the actual TV up, all of that has made working in this room a lot nicer.
Yeah.
It's just
It
a more
is.
enjoyable experience because I don't have
New
to have the overhead
outside.
light on. I can sit there. I can just enjoy the atmosphere, put some music on.
And we have new chairs coming, but they've been stuck in FedEx for who knows how long.
It's funny when, especially again, because we are a two-person show, so sometimes things get pushed back or whatever. we had all these ideas of like, okay, we're going to do all this stuff and it's going to be ready to go the first show of 2022. Yep. And then COVID kind of knocked us out
so we
for
had
a little bit.
Change appointments for things like the TV being hung.
Then the travel disaster getting back from New Jersey to Seattle. Then the weather here. Everything kind of pushed things back. And we said, you know what? Instead of waiting for the day that everything's ready, let's just, every time we have one thing, we'll drop it in. Yeah. So over the next couple weeks, you're going to see the show look a little bit different, sound a little bit different, act a little bit different in what you can do in interacting with the show. And
we do have some fun announcements coming up, which I'm excited about.
But again, I think it's kind of a metaphor for life. It's like you really can't wait for the perfect moment. Now, that doesn't mean you can't plan and try to have the perfect moment. It just means you've got to be ready to roll with it and say, you know what? It didn't work out exactly the way we wanted it to or I wanted it to, but we can make the best of it and we can keep moving forward. It doesn't have to be leaps and bounds. It can be just a step every day in the right direction. And that's what we're trying to do.
And Jen said she loves the screen. Why is it blank?
Oh, I don't know why it's blank, but I'm going to switch it back to the other one anyway.
She said, I love the screen. It would be cool to put your logo back there sometimes too. That's the plan.
That's what we're working on. We might even see this background that we have on the screen right now, the green and the pink that we had earlier. That might go up there at some point, maybe different colors.
Ooh, what if we got, David Lim mentions, or neon signage with the CMNA logo? Like, what if we got a neon version of our logo and put that back there? We got to tell Mike.
Play scenic underwater video on YouTube. What? I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could switch it up, if it actually works. I guess we have an ad first. Wait, skip ad. Oh, now we're underwater, folks. That's not as good.
We wouldn't do a real neon sign because they're like $1,000.
Yeah, plus we'd have nowhere to really put it now that we have this TV. All right, I'm going back to the fireplace.
Yeah.
Play fireplace video on YouTube. Oh, wrong one. Play fireplace video on YouTube. I do love this thing. It's a new toy. There we go. Although, neon is expensive, and apparently for a long time, Seattle was like the neon city.
There's so many neon businesses here.
And now there's a neon museum that I believe is opening up here in Seattle. And there's also like one of the premier neon repair specialists is here in Seattle as well. Places. And a lot of the big signs that people came to know and love, especially the pink elephant signs around Seattle, they, because of different gentrified areas, are going away. But there are certain museums and certain people that are hanging on to them, making sure that they last, and maybe go to the Museum of History and Industry, Mohai, or some other museums.
Yeah, we've looked at neon sign. Every time I get an ad for neon sign, I'm like, all right, let me see how much it'd be. Nope, not doing it.
But we could also just make a graphic of a neon sign and put it behind us. Yeah. So there's that.
I'm going to tell Mike he's got to get on that.
I think I can
we
make
have
one.
like a... No. See, this is what we need to worry about. And this is a tip for everyone. Focus on what your job is.
That's true.
We now have a graphic image team and a moving graphic image team. Let's let them do their jobs. Yep. Okay?
Oh, there's also that museum in Vegas that's all like the old hotel signs. I definitely want to go there.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe when we go to a Raiders game.
Well, maybe. Okay. We could do that.
So, I don't know if you know this fun fact that I discovered the other day, but Taco Bell has just launched a monthly subscription for $10.
What do you get?
One free taco every day.
For $10?
Yeah. And
Actually,
it's not just a plain taco. You can get a Doritos Locos. There's like 2 or 3 different tacos you can get. But I'm like, why launch it now?
But do you have to use it every day? Or can I like save them up? Like I get 30?
No, it's limited to 1 a day.
Oh, okay. My only issue with that, because I do love it, is here in Ballard specifically, the Taco Bell in Ballard.
It's very close.
It's very close. But also like the drive-through line there, because so many people go, I don't know if it's worth it for one taco.
But like a midday snack? I mean, how bad can they be for you?
It would be.
Tortilla, if you got a plain one, not a Doritos Locos, which are the best. Maybe do no cheese.
I actually don't think they're that bad for you. Compared to, yes, if I just had like a real salad, I'm sure that's much better. Right. But compared to other things you can get at most fast food chains, I don't think a taco is that bad.
They should sponsor the show because the amount of times that you and I eat there.
It would be nice.
Taco Bell is hands down the best fast food restaurant.
I agree. I think Popeyes is up there as well. I'd go Taco Bell. Taco Bell I'd put above Popeyes because you have more options. Popeyes is probably number 2 for me. And then in terms of like national chains, so I'm not throwing in like In-N-Out or Dick's Burgers or anything like that because those are phenomenal. Do we consider Shake Shack? Can we put Shake Shack on that list?
No, it takes too long.
You think so?
It takes 30 minutes.
Okay. And then I would probably put McDonald's. Just because McDonald's, like, you know what you're getting. You know, if I need chicken nuggets, I'm going to McDonald's.
There's got to be a rank, and I'm sure, like, a real service has done this.
Yeah, but it's all, I mean, even if a real service did it, it's all subjective. It's really what you
Chick-fil-A
like.
is, like, bottom of the barrel for me.
If we are talking about the food, I disagree. I think those waffle fries are phenomenal.
They taste, to me, the Chick-fil-A waffle fries are the equivalent to eating this.
That's crazy. That's
Cardboard.
crazy talk. Oh, thank you. What just happened on the screen? Got a new follower. Oh, let's see if we hit that number. We're trying to hit 9,100. We are at, let me refresh this real quick. 9,097. So we need 3 more still.
What is this? I took a screenshot of.
I don't know. Other, what?
I have a few more things on my list.
Go for it.
Well, you said the other thing.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was another news story, so it's going to take a little time.
Which one was it?
Finland?
No, I don't have that.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I am not a Sex and the City fan in that I've never really watched it. I've thought about getting into it recently, and I know they've launched a new show, which is called And Just Like That, which is like them now.
Okay.
This crazy fact will literally blow your mind. So the main characters in the first season of the Golden Girls, right? You got all the Golden Girls. We all know who they are.
Rest in peace, Betty White.
Are actually all of them, rest in peace, are actually younger than the women in the current season of the Sex and the City, Just Like That.
They're the age of the characters or the age of the actual actresses?
I think characters.
Okay.
So in Golden Girls, they were around 53 and 54 years old. And in Just Like That, they are 54/55.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I know.
And show the picture to the camera. Because just, I mean, the way they're dressed, the way the makeup, everything is pretty insane. But it really does go to show, like, where society has moved.
Yeah. But also, age is just, it truly is also just a number.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be as old as you, or young as you want to feel or look. Like, it's
I mean,
up
look at
to
J-Lo.
you.
She's what, 52? 51?
I need to see, it's the age of the actresses. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I need to see, like, what J-Lo and the Golden Girls. That's what I want to see.
At the same age?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for the Golden Girls. It's not going to make them feel great. Let's see.
Yeah, age of the actresses and characters, I would assume is very similar. Like, what are the actresses' ages in Sex and the City right now
Oh, I don't know.
versus their character ages?
I've
Gotta be
actually
similar.
never watched a Sex in the City episode. Like I know it's been on
Same.
as I've like been in a room, but I've
Yeah.
never actually watched a single Sex in the City thing. I do know the character.
seems
No,
like-
I don't even know if I know all the
Do you
characters.
know anyone's name?
Sarah
Okay.
Jessica Parker is Carrie.
That's all I got.
Oh no, and then who's the one?
Miranda. There's a Miranda.
Who's the
redhead.
one? There's like a Judd Apatow movie where they mention one. I sleep with everybody. Who's that one?
I don't know. But like
Someone
Sarah,
knows.
okay,
what-
so
hold
for
on.
example,
Someone knows what I'm talking about.
Sarah Jessica Parker is 56, so her character is pretty much the exact same age
Okay.
that she is. We should watch Sex and the City from the beginning.
I'd rather watch The Sopranos or The Wire.
I'm out.
Two
You
other
watch
shows that I
Sopranos,
still haven't
I'll
watched.
watch Sex and the City. Now they're naming. all the-
Samantha's, that's the one. There's yeah, what movie is that? Because I'm Samantha. I sleep with everybody. or something like that.
It's probably
Oh,
knocked
man.
up.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Was it?
Oh.
Okay. No, the thing I wanted to talk about was actually in Finland. So they have a prime minister who I believe is only like 36.
I love it.
Super young woman. Well, super young in terms of what we think politicians are.
97.
And
Dead. Crypt keeper.
let me pull up the screenshots for a second. All right. Finland to introduce a 4-day work week.
Yes.
And
Saw this.
6-hour days.
Love it. Sign me up.
Under plans drawn up by the 34-year-old Prime Minister Sanna Marin. So,
That would be me. That means I could be a prime minister.
but I don't think you would have an actual plan. You'd just be like, well, I don't want to work more than 3 days a week.
Somebody on my team, figure it out. What the hell do I pay you for?
But I think in most
Yes,
corporate
pay
jobs,
is the same. In all these situations, they're never doing pay cuts.
usually not. I think, obviously, there are certain industries that
I've
you
never
can't
seen it.
close down a hospital and only work 4 days a week. You can't do certain things like that. I don't even know if radio would have to adjust a little bit as well.
Sonali said looks up how to move to Finland. I've done that, Finland and Norway.
Mm-hmm.
I've legitimately looked into the process because I was like, last year, I was like, what if we go to move there just for like a year? It's tough with pets.
So I need to read more about the plan, but
Okay.
I do think there are certain corporate industries. If you have your typical desk job, right, where you're answering emails, calls, meetings, like that's your job. If you currently have a 9 to 5, essentially, I think it's 100% doable, mainly because there's a theory out there that your work will take however long someone gives you to do the work.
Yes.
Right? So if someone says, hey, I need this project by tomorrow, you're most likely going to have it done. If they say I need the same exact project in a week, it will take you a week to do that same exact project that you probably could have done in one day. It's the reason we all know that we can procrastinate.
Yes.
A lot of our work doesn't take the time that people have given us to do it.
Right.
We just procrastinate. We save it to the end. We knock everything out. So I do think a lot of those corporate jobs, a lot of those typical 9 to 5 desk jobs could probably move to a maybe not 6 hours a day right away. Maybe there's a progression of a way to get to that 4 days a week, 6 hours a day. But I think it's 100% doable. Again, for certain jobs. If you are a nurse or a doctor, that's probably not going to work for you.
I have a friend who played hockey in Finland he was there for like a year. And he's like, the way of life here is just nuts. He's like, every home you rent has a sauna because they fully believe in like healthcare and self-care and all of that. He's like, it is insane. He's like, and even practice for the team was like different. He's like, the way, it's just nuts in such a good way.
Yeah.
He ended up not staying there because both of their families were here, him and his girlfriend at the time, who's now his wife. But I would 100% at least move there for a year. So in these situations, there's a lot of questions. Generally, when a country does this, your benefits stay the same, your vacations stay the same, your salary stays the same.
Well, in most of those countries, especially if you're looking
Already
at the Nordic
have.
countries, their vacation is insane to begin
Like
with.
6 weeks.
Insane compared to what we deal with here, which is if you have a full-time job, they might give you 2 weeks when you start.
Yeah. But in those countries, it's like 6 weeks, then you have like 3 years of maternity leave, 2 years of paternity leave. Like it's
No, there are most
and guaranteed your job when you go back.
Most of the Nordic countries give you over a year. I can't remember which one it is. One of them does give you 3 years of maternity leave. I think 2 is probably the perfect number. But here in America, if we could get 4
2
months, it would be ideal.
Full pay for 2 weeks would be great.
Let's see. Jess from Minnesota said in Finland, the entire country shuts down for like 4 weeks in the summer. The one thing I do like that started taking off this year, and I hope it keeps expanding, there were a lot of, especially entertainment-based companies, that gave their employees the last 2 weeks of the year off. Now, that doesn't mean...
And it doesn't count their vacation days.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with their vacation. They just said, we're going to close. So
Spotify did it. Live
no
Nation
emails
did it.
will be sent. Nothing. The business from, let's say, December 17th to January 3rd
Right.
is closed. You are not expected to answer anyone, be responsible for anything. I'm sure they have like a skeleton crew that makes sure things are working. I hope more businesses start doing that, because if you do, like we dealt with this in radio, it's especially if you move for a job and let's say they give you 2 to 3 weeks, you're essentially using one of
to
those
see
weeks
your-
just to go see your family for
More
the
than one,
holidays.
yeah.
So it's one of those things that I do hope expands a little bit, and we start seeing just the last 2 weeks of the year shut down.
Yeah, it should be. And 2 weeks in the summer.
Let's see. Court said, we get that at the university I work at, and it's one of the biggest things that has kept me here. And again,
Your vacation should not be what's keeping you.
no,
Not you, Court. I'm saying there should be other reasons we want to stay at a job, right?
yeah, but I think businesses giving their employees more leeway, corporations giving their companies more leeway and more freedom, that's a good thing, and it shows that you're going to retain your employees longer.
Right.
You're gonna have a better time and more loyal employees when you treat them better.
Right. And this is a great question from Sarah. She said, but who is the skeleton crew in those situations then? You would hope that because there are less, like, all right, take Spotify, for example, right? There are less events and meetings and things happening that you need less engineers or whatever it may be behind the scenes so that they can then take more time and kind of flip-flop their schedules.
Or, I mean, this is...
And just be on call for emergencies opposed to working around the clock.
Yeah, and this is a unique situation because not everyone has, like, a radio schedule. But what we had to do with Elvis's show, the whole show is off for the last 2 weeks of the year. Basically from, like, when Jingle Ball in New York hit until you came back from the end of
Normally.
vacation.
Maybe a little after that.
What would normally happen is the younger people on the show who had been there the least, so me, Carla Marie, Garrett, Coaster Boy Josh, I think Sam may have joined,
at the time.
Lauren, we would rotate running the show, basically babysitting a computer, and each of us would take one of
great.
the weeks. So,
Or not even weeks, like a few days. Like, I'm going to do 2 days, you're going to do 2 days.
and we would all coordinate with ourselves. I worked Christmas morning, but it was a thing where I got paid double.
Yeah.
I was only there for 4.5 hours. And it was great. And I understood that was also part of my responsibility on the show because we had this family feeling. And I knew that if I couldn't do a day, someone was going to back me up. So it wasn't like I was forced to do that. You hope that that's kind of the rhythm that these companies go to.
Right.
Let's see.
Meg said about Court and her vacation days, she said, my benefits and days off are definitely the reasons I keep my job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also there is. Like, someone was in the chat the other day, someone's like, I literally hate my job, but I'm only staying here because of the time.
No, that's health insurance.
Health insurance.
That's totally different.
But
if you think your
okay,
job...
if a company gives you insane benefits and you're like, yeah, I want to stay there, that's great. But we shouldn't feel like we have to stay at certain jobs because there was someone who stayed at iHeart just because they knew they wanted to get pregnant and wanted to be able to afford to have a baby and take time off.
And again,
But they hated their life and hated their job, but they knew if they got a new job in a certain time, they'd have to wait for healthcare and all of that, and it wouldn't count because if you get pregnant before you get healthcare in some situations, that baby is not covered.
No, but again, that's specifically the healthcare situation. I do think that I would love to see companies battle and give their employees the most fringe benefits, if you will.
Yeah.
Whether it's lunch at the office, whether it's days off, whether it's extra, all of that. I want to see companies compete with each other there. I think health insurance is a bad way.
Pay people.
Well, yeah, but health insurance, I think, is what we were talking about the other day. That shouldn't be the reason you keep a job. We shouldn't feel like we owe our employer our health, or our employer is responsible for our health. I think those are two very different things. Let's see. We can't even get our employees to disclose COVID cases in the building. Employers to And again, I think being able to be free and not worry about where your health is tied to is great.
Right.
But like yesterday, we went to Dick's Burgers, and I've posted about this before during our vacation. They had a sign that said, all employees their starting pay is $19 an hour. Remember, this is a fast food place. $19 an hour, 100% paid, employer paid health benefits. Yeah. So you pay 0% of your health care. $9,000, I want to say it was, towards either education or child care. And this is still an hourly job.
And it's like $1.80 for a burger.
And yeah, it's still $1.80 for a burger, for like their basic burger.
Whatever it is.
And they were also including 2 weeks of paid vacation, which in most part-time or hourly jobs, you don't get paid vacation. You just take your time off and don't make any money. So it's one of those things where I hope
every time someone's like, oh, you want to give people all this stuff. Well, your burger's going to cost $12. And I go to Dick's. I'm like, it's $1.80.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. And no one ever complains about that. No one's ever like, oh my God, how are you going to afford, making your burgers if you're paying your employees $20 an hour? But no one ever says, hey, you pay your CEO $14 million a year with bonuses. That's never the issue for some reason. Let's see. I'm only keeping my long-term job until I'm able to buy a house, hopefully in the next couple months. Longevity works in my advantage.
Yeah.
And that's great. And
having a plan is also awesome. Not feeling like I'm just stuck in this for my whole life. We shouldn't have to feel like that.
Let's see. A big reason I went back to my company after taking time off after having my daughter is because of the health care. Being under my husband's insurance was awful, but now we're all under my insurance. And that's from Vicky Vitz 1215 on Twitch. And that's, again, if you like your job, great. Yeah. Go back and work and enjoy it. If you only did it for the healthcare, that's where I think we as a society have a little bit of a problem on our hands.
Like Lenny said, I'm only working at my job until my wife finishes school. Does that mean you're going to get a new job or you're just going to stay home?
Maybe she's going to have such an amazing career after that.
And
no
like
one else has
having plans like that is amazing. And having jobs be like, hey, this is what you get when you work for our company. That is amazing because you go to a company like Spotify. I keep using Spotify because they're always open about what you get when you work there. Mm-hmm. You're going to have people work harder and better for you and be happier because you are giving them benefits.
Yep.
Opposed to other companies that we may have worked for where there is literally no benefit.
Well, no, and even the company that we worked for. So the company we worked for was iHeartRadio. Now, the experience in working with Elvis Duran in the morning show,
of course, was
wildly different than the experience of coming out to Seattle. And part of that is Elvis is so unbelievably successful and good at what he does. Mm-hmm. And when the company sees Elvis, they see dollar signs because he's like the most valuable person they have there. Mm-hmm. That was a bubble. And when we came out to Seattle, we realized that outside of Elvis protecting his employees, it was a very different experience because there wasn't a programmer or an executive vice president or any of those weird titles they give people. None of those people were going to directly communicate with us unless it was approved by Elvis.
Correct.
And the message that was going to come to us was going to be approved by Elvis. Whereas here in Seattle, every single manager from around the company apparently had an opinion, and they were able to tell us. They were able to tell us where to go, what to do, when to take vacation, when not to take vacation. They could call us at 9 o'clock at night. I actually one day...
Could you imagine? Elvis would be like, do not do this to my people.
I remember one day I went to sleep early on a Sunday, and our senior vice president or regional, whatever the fucking titles they give people, had called me at 10:30 at night on a Sunday to discuss some work things. And I obviously didn't see it. And the next morning he goes, dude, why didn't you pick up? I called you last night. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what fucked up world am I in where this guy thinks I owe him an answered phone call at 10:30 at night on a Sunday when he knows I do a morning show. I've got to be up at 4:30 in the morning. So it was a totally different experience, and it goes to not only the company, the corporate structure, but also the managers and the people who were in charge. Like Elvis he wasn't a manager necessarily.
Neon Climber, thank you.
Thank you very much. He wasn't necessarily our manager, right? Elvis. But he made sure that the people that worked under him and for his show were taken care of and protected.
What would he would say? What would he always tell us about? We were all sucking the teat.
I don't know.
Oh, he would say something like that. He was literally like mother hen protecting the nest, or some sort of. That's the best way to describe it.
Let's see. Jordan Puyallup said, I got in a stupid argument this weekend with my mom about livable wages. My point was I challenged the companies to treat their people better, pay them better, give them benefits, and make them feel valued. Will go a long way. Right. Invest in your people, and they'll be happy to want to work. Exactly. And that's the thing. None of us ever felt, even when things were really tight or where there was a lot of pressure on us to deliver for Elvis' show, which that does happen. Yeah. Right? It's a huge entertainment business.
You never feel like...
You never felt undervalued, underappreciated, worked to the bone because someone was there to take care of you and protect you.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you do have to put in a couple extra hours and whatnot, but when you feel protected, when you feel valued, when you feel like you're part of the team, you're going to do that more anyway. So
It's so true.
and knowing that Elvis is going to go to bat for you and defend you, you defend that man forever.
Like, I would always, at the end of every show or end of every week, or like if you get in a rut, I'd be like, well, how can I make certain things better? How can I make this game better or this bit better or answering the phones, or what if I try something new? Like, no one was telling me, hey, find a new way to do something. I was like, let me adapt this to make it better for everyone, including myself. And in that situation, you felt like you wanted to do that because it made everything better for the team.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is like the third show in a row where we've gone on a tangent about work-life balance and stuff.
Third in a row, and the 100th and all the time we've done.
And again, we started talking about that because there is legislation in Finland that's being introduced to introduce a 4-day work week and a 6-hour work day under plans drawn up by their 34-year-old Prime Minister, Sanna Marin.
Love her.
Don't know her, but I like that specifically.
I didn't even know her name.
I don't know anything else about the woman.
I should probably not say love her because who knows what else she does. Maybe she hates cats. Anyway, let's go from Finland to the Vatican.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know this part.
I have loved Pope Francis up until last week. I do not love Pope Francis anymore, unfortunately. To be fair, I was raised Catholic. I was christened, communioned, confirmationed, all the things. And then I just stopped going to church because my grandma was very religious, went to church at least once a week. I would have to go with her all the time. I know all the prayers. I know all of it. Did confession. Then got to a point where I was like, there's no reason anymore. So that's just my religious background. So the Pope came out last week and essentially said that married couples who are not having children and are having pets instead, as my cats scream outside, are selfish. Now, here is his long quote, and I want to read it because that's essentially just the headline, right? Just saying that.
Thank you, Marijuana, for the... so we still have these sounds on for some reason because I adjusted everything last night. So we'll probably get 4 more of those, but thank you, Marijuana. 6 for the 5 gifted subs.
So the Pope said, today we see a form of selfishness. We see that some people do not want to have a child. Many, many couples do not have children because they do not want to, or they have just one, but they have 2 dogs. You have just 1 kid, but you have 2 dogs, 2 cats. Yes, dogs and cats take the place of children. Keep that in mind. The Pope said that, so that means we have children.
No, he was... Okay, continue.
This denial of fatherhood or motherhood diminishes us. It takes away our humanity. And in this way, civilization becomes aged and without humanity. And our homeland suffers as it does not have children. Okay. And it's basically what he says.
Okay. Couple things. Is that his whole quote?
Yeah, there's another thing he says. And remain childless by choice, end up alone with the bitterness of loneliness.
So a couple things about that. One is from an environmental standpoint, not having kids is probably the most selfless thing you can do because you are...
Yeah, you can look at every pillar and argue it.
Exactly. From the perspective of the economy and religion, and this is any religion, by the way.
Right.
Religion and our economy, the way it's designed right now, need more people. The only way it survives is if you keep adding people to it to suck the resources out of and then spit back out eventually. So religion can't grow if you're not having kids, which is why almost every major religion really pushes the fact that they want you to have babies because they want more people. They assume that if you have a kid, you're going to teach it the teachings of the church or the whatever you're a part of, and it's going to flourish.
And when someone says to me, like, I'm trying to get pregnant, I want to have a baby, I'm never like, are you sure you want to do that? That's your decision. Mm-hmm. Like, and I had this conversation after I posted about this weekend with a friend. I said, I fully understand people who are like, I want to have a baby. I want to have a family. Yeah. But then you also need to understand when people don't want to have a family. You need to respect that decision. Don't try to push it on me to have kids, and I won't try to push it on you to not have kids because that's my current state. I don't know. I may or may not have kids. I may adopt kids. I'm almost 34 years old. This may become difficult at some point. And in the Pope's eyes, I suck. And that's fine because I don't care.
And the other part of it is from an economic standpoint,
Yeah.
if you look at the things that China and us, the U.S., are going through right now, is we actually are going to end up emptying our Social Security coffers, if you will, because the whole way that system works is you need more young people who you can tax than old people who are going to take from that jar, if you will.
Thank you, boomers.
And at some point, that is going to tip. I think China's dealing with it right now. This is the first time in the last 100 years in China where they have less people having babies, much like we're dealing with here in the U.S. So it's a very similar thing. And then the other part that he does bring up a good part, though. There is, I think, and I've seen it with my own friends. I obviously don't have a kid yet.
Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going with this?
No, I think there is something about being a different person when you have a child.
Oh, yeah.
I think you are with anyone, I think you're a more caring person when you have a little human being you have to take care of.
Okay.
In a weird way. I'm not saying that if you don't have kids, you're an animal or a monster that doesn't have feelings.
I can agree with you on that. Now, to what the Pope said, I do not think that people are like, I have 4 cats, I can't have a kid.
Correct.
That's not, he is wrong there for me, right? Maybe someone else says that, but for me, I would still have a kid with 4 cats and be fine. My niece had a baby and then got a dog after having 2 cats. It happened. So that is wrong. However, I do think having pets can also make you a better person.
Yeah, a little bit.
Volunteering can make you a better person. Having more time, right? I don't have kids, but I can volunteer. That makes me a better person.
That's true. You could probably volunteer way more without kids.
So it can change you, but if we're all doing the exact same thing, we're not going to have the best, most flourished world we can have if everyone is a parent, everyone is focusing on their kids.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea, if I was playing devil's advocate, is when you have kids, you think more about a different future or a future that's not just your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have kids, I can only think about, I'm allowed that opportunity to just think about myself then and what benefits me directly as opposed to worrying about the future, things like that. Great point. Amanda Moe said Betty White didn't have any kids.
Nope.
And she was phenomenal.
That's
we
crazy.
love her.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Pope has probably said something nice about Betty White at some point in his life.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's days where I wake up, I'm like, I could be a mom.
Well, the other thing that we haven't even touched on is the fact that when you compare millennials and generations younger than millennials to the generations older, we are straddled with so much debt. And millennials in our generation has seen the worst terrorist attack since Pearl Harbor.
Scary.
We've seen 2.5 economic recessions that are only maxed out or only one-upped by the Great Depression.
Right.
So, and we have a shit ton of debt. So when you look at all of that, it's just it's not as easy to make that decision to bring a child into this world when that's all of the things that you're dealing with. Now, did people have babies during World War II and World War I? They did. People have babies in shitty situations. We get it. But it's an interesting dynamic to think of the things that every generation deals with and in their decision making to have babies.
And there are people who will tell me I'm completely tinfoil hat for saying this.
Okay.
But I believe it, that if I have a kid now, in its lifetime, there will be a serious resource issue.
There might be.
To the point where there may not be food, right? And if not, 100% in their kid's lifetime, unless we really focus on vertical farming and all of that. And I know I sound like a crazy person when I say that, but we're going to run out of space and natural, healthy resources unless we trust the science, which is becoming harder and harder to change things and do things like vertical farming and fix our land that we have completely ruined over time. And part of me is like, I don't want to die knowing that my kids who are in their 40s or 50s or 60s, whatever they'll be, are starving.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds as crazy as you're making it sound or saying that people think it sounds.
Oh, my parents will 100% think it. They're like, there's always cereal. No, there's not. Well,
there's always fake food, yes. But I think we're already looking at resource issues. We're already looking at land issues.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, yeah, is there land in the middle of Montana? There is. But then what do you do for a living when you're working in the middle of Montana? We're actually going to end up with probably more space and less resources at some point, if that makes any sense. Because we're losing farmers.
It's crazy.
We're losing the farming industry when you think of people who do it naturally, right? Not huge corporate farming.
Right.
And more people have to move to cities because that's where all the jobs are being concentrated. You know, the small town American dream is kind of dead.
I mean, maybe remote will change that. But
maybe that is a good thing to hope for.
But if you think every baby boomer has kids, and then all of the baby boomers' kids have kids, and so on and so on, like, that's wild. Like, at some point, things need to change. Or it's not like we're running, like, the human population is going to die. Like, that's how the Pope is acting right now. Yeah. He's acting like this is it. This is the end of people. Whoever you know now, we're all done.
Well, and again, going back to the religious and economic implications of not having kids.
Yeah.
All major religions, for the most part, are dealing with less people being engaged in that religion.
Well, maybe that's the religion's problem, not the fact that people aren't popping out babies.
But their answer since the beginning of time has always been our congregation needs to reproduce as much as possible.
I'll tell you, the answer is never just
No, let me finish.
Baby.
I know, but that has been their answer.
Yeah, but that's never just going to be the fix. Because what if that kid grows up and is like, F religion?
Of course, but you're still giving yourself more opportunities with every child you have in a religion specifically. That's why kids are baptized normally.
Also, the Catholic Church lets you have a day where you baptize your pet.
Well, good for them. But that's also why you normally indoctrinate children into a religion super young.
I think I would baptize my kid only because I'm like, oh, what if the omen is real or something, and like they do become the devil? But part of me would want a kid, if I had one, to understand what religion is, because I did have that upbringing and I understand it, whatever it may be. I don't care, just something to understand that there may be something more in this world or whatever it is. But I don't see myself as a religious person. There's just so many different facets to this. Like, all right, Pope, you want me to have a kid? What if I don't raise it?
Yeah. But again, it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble that any major religion is going to take. The more people in your congregation that have children,
right,
the better your odds are of expanding that core and expanding your base, and also profiting from them, because you still need to tax your churchgoers or have donations or whatever it is to keep your thing going, to keep your religion going.
Yeah, I don't like. It's crazy because one of my best friends, Tatum, we had her baby shower this weekend. And I'm like so excited for her to have this baby. She's going to be the best mom, and I can't wait to meet PJ and hug her and hold her, and I'm so excited for her.
Yeah.
But that's what makes us all different. I'm not saying having kids is a bad thing at all. Like, my sister wants to have a baby, and I cannot wait for her to have a baby. But whether that's something everyone needs to do, I think needs to be up to each individual person. And my mom has said it to me. We've had this conversation. Like, my parents have never, ever been like, when are you having kids? Mm-hmm. Like, they've never pushed that on me, ever. And I think part of it because I have so many grandkids already. But
they probably don't want it anymore.
My mom's like, I don't, like, whatever you want to do, you do. Mm-hmm. But she also had me at what my current age is about to be now. So, like, she had kids from 17 to 34 years old.
Crazy, yeah.
So I've always been like, I can have a kid whenever I want if I decide that's what I want. And for me right now, every other day I wake up with a different feeling. I don't know what to do about that.
Listen, I'm sure there are parents out there who probably wake up with a different feeling every day. They're like, my kid woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning today. We shouldn't have this dummy.
You know how many times I'll see BuzzFeed articles like, here are 20 parents telling you why you should never have kids and they regret it. And I'm like, oh, what?
No, I love, there's also, I'm sorry we can't get to all the comments in the chat right now. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch on YouTube as well. But I love that you're all talking to one another as well, which is why we should probably start our Discord soon so that people can keep that conversation going.
Sooner than you think. That's true. We don't have women priests in the Catholic Church. telling me I gotta pop a kid out of my vagina? You wouldn't even let me be a priest? Well, I guess I can't do both, but still.
Yeah. Well, that might be because the church sees your role as a very specific thing.
Baby popper.
I didn't say it.
My all-time favorite, I think, meme that I have ever seen or response was, okay, so the Pope says, we need to have children, you're selfish, blah, 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 whatever. It was from Clueless. I showed it to you, and it was like, you're a virgin who can't drive.
Yeah. And then we only talked at length about why religion needs more babies, but the economy, the way it's set up, also needs more people to suck the energy out of in the workforce and to tax.
But if we have less, there's still less people using our things.
Well, one of the problems is our economy is built on forever growth, right? Like every company has to do more than they did last year. And the way our taxes work is to pay for elder care, the rare elder care that our government actually does pay for.
Which is not much.
You have to tax the younger generation to do so. So if you end up with a smaller, younger generation than the older generation that you're taking care of, it creates an imbalance, and they'll just end up cutting that even more. So
I don't know. I feel like COVID kind of cut into it a bit.
I think COVID actually showed us that our government does have the money to pay for things.
True.
So there's
I mean,
that
like,
part.
Took out a lot of old people.
Let's see. If the population declines regardless of the system, the economy will shrink. Yes, that is 100% true. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Let's see.
I don't know. Dennis was right. I'll say it over and over again. It's Lisa.
We did. I know Renee said we did
notice
the in unison earlier.
Why?
We were both probably pausing to read the chat.
Oh, I thought it was like a funny one, but it was just us being dumb.
Yeah.
Lisa said, why are men who don't have sex telling me to have sex?
Great point. There we go. Marijuana. Capitalism is built on infinite growth. Companies always need to introduce more product, which means you need more consumers.
Yeah, like who's going to pay for Netflix? Like I have no kids to pass Netflix.
And
although I'll just add them to my Netflix account. So
add who to your Netflix account?
My kids.
Yeah,
I
but
got
at
the
some
kids
point,
account. It's there. It
but
says
at some
kids.
point, the idea is that kid will then have their own account. 18 years,
I don't know.
19
I'm
years.
still on my family plan phone bill. I mean,
That's
I'm
true.
paying, but I'm still on it.
I don't think I'm on anything.
I mean, we
that my
share
parents-
subscription services.
No, I'm trying to think of my parents. Because for a long time, I was still on their phone bill.
It's me, my mom, and my dad, but we all pay for it.
No, I think I pay for my own phone. And then we split things here, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm on anything. I don't have car insurance. That was the longest thing I think I was on my
Same.
parents for.
Yeah.
Because it made so much more sense financially to be on my parents, not because I wasn't paying for it, because it was so much cheaper to be on my
Yeah.
mom's insurance than it was for me to be on my own.
24 years old, 25, yeah.
Let's see. I'm eating my lunch. A little more grateful to have food and shelter. Exactly. And we should all be grateful for what we do have, obviously. Jess6463, thank you very much for the 500 bits. Appreciate you very much. We almost got there. I think, let me double check this before we go today.
Court said, my parents kicked me off of everything as fast as they could to, quote, teach me independence.
Well, you're doing all right on your own.
You are.
We need 3 more followers still to get to 9,100. If you are if you're watching right now and you have not hit the follow button, please do that. Again, if you're watching on YouTube as well, make sure you hit the follow and subscribe, subscribe and notification buttons. There's a lot of different buttons on different platforms that we got to remember.
Why can't we make it all uniform?
Huh?
It could be subscribe and follow are two different things.
Depends.
Like you don't subscribe to me on Instagram, but you do subscribe to our free newsletter.
But following someone on YouTube and following someone on Instagram are essentially this. Subscribing to someone on YouTube and following someone on Instagram are essentially the same thing.
True.
But subscribing to someone on YouTube is not the same as subscribing to someone on Twitch.
What is it
This
called?
world is insane.
No, I would like a uniformed, like when once we figure out healthcare, I would like those words.
Okay, well, let's do healthcare first, and then we'll worry about everything else.
I think for once we actually got to everything on our list.
I think there was something else.
Not on mine. Not on my watch.
All right, it doesn't matter. We'll get to it tomorrow.
Oh, I have 33 missed messages.
From your mom?
The whole family. It's just absurd.
Well, as Carla Marie gets through that,
Imagine adding more kids to the family group chat.
well, by the time they get a phone, I'm sure someone in the family won't talk to someone else, so you'll have to
someone will have died probably.
Well, I wasn't going to say it. You did.
True.
So,
I mean,
congratulations.
How it works.
Lots of good talks today, just like Martha1383 said. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to comment, feel free to do that below.
Yes.
Carla Marie, anything you want to say before we go?
No, thanks for being here. Sign up for our newsletter. It's free. It's in the link below on YouTube.
Or you can type in newsletter, !newsletter right now, and that should come up as well. So go ahead,
guys.
Try that out. We will see you tomorrow. Hopefully the sound issue will be fixed, and we'll have more little things that we're going to play around with on Twitch. We will see you tomorrow.
You look great.
You look great.